Okie dokie. I'm so, like, excited to film this video. Like, I'm literally so pumped to just deep dive into both of these seasons for like 3 hours straight while I film this video. I'm excited. I'm very excited. Hello, Playing Being. Hi, how you doing? And today we're going to be doing a wrap up for Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 4 and Angel Season 1. So yeah, I'm going to be kind of laying this out in a similar format to my last wrap up because I don't know, just the Q&A style is a little more like easier for me just because it's not a lot of like prep work for me before I have to film this, and I'll get it out to you guys a lot quicker. And also I feel like it's just a little more like less rigid and like it just lets me talk about the season, you know? But yeah, if you guys don't already know, I have a Patreon, and a perk of being a patron on my Patreon is that you get to submit questions for my Q&A each season. So very cool. I'm going to be going through all of that. Okay, a little quick note. I'm not sure if everyone that is watching my Buffy talks have also seen Angel. I feel like some people haven't and they just like Buffy, so like they only watch my Buffy stuff. But with this video, I'm obviously going to be like going back and forth, so there will be major spoilers for season 1 of Angel in like my Buffy talk and all that. So do with that what you will. I'm sorry. I wanted to like split it up into 2 videos, but then I got all the questions. I'm like, I don't think I can without like being repetitive in both videos and like, you know, so sorry about that, but I just wanted to tell you guys in case, you know, you don't really want to see any Angel spoilers and you like want to watch it on your own or something. I don't know. Do with that what you will. I just thought I'd mention it just in case you guys want to know. So yeah, before we like jump into these questions, because we have like 16 pages worth of questions to get into, so I don't want to like postpone that any longer. But before we get into it, just like my general consensus of each season. So for season 4 Buffy, it's like, I love what they were going for. I just think the execution of all of it didn't really hit the mark every single time, you know? Which I feel like literally every critique that I've ever said for this season of Buffy, I always get like comments that are like, well, actually they couldn't do that because this actor like dropped out, or like they couldn't do this because there's like a contract or something, you know? And like so I was like, oh, that kind of sucks that like everything that like I don't really enjoy that much on the show for like this season is because of like some other reason, like outside of the control of the show, you know? So like, even, like, Walsh, like, I would have loved to see her, like, be, like, a big baddie for, like, at least a couple episodes. But, like, they introduce her as a big baddie and then immediately kill her off in, like, the same episode. And I'm like, okay, give me Whiplash, well, don't you? Like, but, obviously they did that because they had to, like, speed it up because the actress, I think, had to, like, do another show or something. And so she couldn't, like, be on that show anymore. And it was, like, this whole big thing. And, like, even, like, Seth Green, like his, like, you know, Oz and all that, like, it's just a lot. So yeah, that's kind of like my consensus on season 4. It's like, I'm not sure. Like, I feel like I don't know. I was about to rate the seasons, but I literally don't know. But, I think last time I said, did I say last time I would rate season 3 over season 2? I'm not sure. But, like, looking back, I don't know. Season 2 and season 3 are, like, my favorite fucking seasons ever. So yeah, I feel like depending on the day, season 2 or season 3 are like my favorite, and then season 4 and season 1 are like tied. Season 4 slightly more, I think. Just because I mean obviously the characters are more well-rounded by season 4 compared to season 1, but I think that's what I'm gonna say. But anyways, for Angel season 1, goodness gracious, I feel like it's the same, like, critique. Like, not necessarily that, like, they didn't execute it well. I think they were going for something, and then a lot of the times I think they got, like, a hiccup in, like, so can we do it this way? And then they tried it out for an episode and they're like, no, we cannot do it that way. You know, like, I feel like a lot of the things that they did on the show started out with a good idea, but then sometimes it would just evolve into this stalker doctor that is like he's like enlightened or something and he can move his body parts, like, you know, so it's like that. But I was just talking to my boyfriend about this, like, I adore the way that this show, just the way that it, like, the premise of it. So, like, for obviously Buffy, it's about a teenage girl that gets the, you know, Slayer powers. She has to fight vampires. She has to stop the world every once in a while, and then she has friends along the way, and she's just trying to, you know, also go about her life as, like, a normal girl, but, you know, she's obviously a Slayer. Then, with Angel, it's much more, like, not based on Angel himself. Obviously, Angel is the main character. He's the title character. But I feel like a lot of it is, like, on the universe itself. Like, again, obviously, there's, like, a fucking prophecy now that, like, he's gonna be a human later on. But I just feel like the entire universe is what's driving the entire series for most of it. For at least season 1. Obviously, now that we have the prophecy, I think that's gonna be a lot more, like, leading. But for most of season 1, it's like everyone around Angel is doing things and Angel just has to, like, react to a lot of it, you know? Like, he moves to LA and then he, like, tries to, like, save people, and then we obviously get Wolfram and Hart, and it's just Wolfram and Hart keep, like, antagonizing, or not antagonizing, but, like, keeps doing bad shit. Angel has to react to help people. And then, like, you know, even you get, like, Gunn and, like, people like that are trying to fight demons and vampires in LA, and Angel doesn't know what to do. He's like, oh, should I help them out? What are they doing? Something that's bad? And then they, you know, get to, like, a conclusion at the end. So it's just, like, a lot of that. Like, even, like, Kate is a cop, and, like, I just love Kate so much. But, like, they added in Kate, and it's just a lot of, like, her and her police force doing things that may, like, get in the way of Angel, or Angel has to do something to, like, help out the police because the police aren't, like, you know, getting the hint that it's this demon or something, you know? So yeah, I just enjoy the fact that Angel, even though sometimes it doesn't quite hit the mark with some things that they're trying to do, but they do try and commentate on bigger things than, you know, in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, not to, like, downplay it at all, but they do, you know, things that a 16, 17-year-old might come across, you know, like a jerk guy at college that you sleep with one night, and then they try and pretend that you don't exist, you know, like one of those things. And then in Angel, they go against a corrupt law firm that tries to get people that are criminals off, you know? So it's just very different, but I love both of them so much. But my point is, Angel, I like how they really try to change it. And like many people say, it takes a while for season 1 to get its footing. But, like, once it does, it gets its footing. Like, it's so like, it sprints. It is so good once it gets, like, I just adore it, like, so much. Oh, goodness. Okay, so let's get into Buffy questions first and foremost, because I got a lot of those. So, the fandom tends to think of the season as a group of great individual episodes with a not so great big bad. Do you agree? Yes. It's like, again, I love what they were going for with this initiative. Group of, like, government officials wanting to create a super demon that can be, like, a military force, you know? Like, I feel like, wasn't that, like, a thing in X-Men? Like, X-Men wanted to take mutants and, like, make them into, like, or was that a different thing? What movie was that? Was that a DC movie? I forget, but there was a superhero movie that tried to do, like, that kind of plot, and it's just so cool. Like, because obviously you forget that the government is, like, a huge thing, And just Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like, in itself, it's all in Sunnydale. It's all, like, by itself, and, like, it's contained, basically, in that town most of the time. And then you get the government in, and they're trying to do all this shit, and it's like, okay, I guess. And it was just, like, again, one of those things that if Maggie Walsh, if the actress was able to continue, I think that Walsh would have been a much more compelling antagonist and big baddie rather than the Frankenstein kind of dude that just monologues about, like, how he doesn't know his place in this world because he's a zombie fucking Frankenstein of all these demons, you know? So it's like, oh, like, I love, like, I just hear about, like, what they wanted to do with, like, Walsh and stuff, and I'm like, oh, it would have been so cool, but obviously that's not the reality of how the season ended up. But yeah, so, like, even I was making my, like, top 5 episodes for, like, each season, and, like, for Buffy, it's literally, like, all of the, like, standalone-y kind of episodes, or, like, episodes where, like, it's very cohesive, because, like, even I just posted on YouTube, what episode was it? It was episode, like, 14, I think. Yeah, Goodbye, Iowa. And, like, even that episode, like, yes, it's good, but it's very, like, the connective tissue between episodes, you know? So there's a lot of episodes like that where, like, it's very nice, but, like, a lot of it's, like, here's information that you're gonna need later. We don't know where to put it in, but we're gonna give it to you now, and you're gonna need it later on. And then you get an episode like fucking Hush, or Fear Itself, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so good. So, yes, I agree that I feel like the episodes itself, a lot of the episodes that are, like, more standalone, or, like, those kinds, I do feel are much more impactful and, like, more cohesive than the ones that, like, are trying to tie in all this big baddie stuff, and, like, I don't know, just the big bad, I've already said, like, it's just not super compelling to me. So Alan asked, what were your expectations before you started Buffy? How do you feel about the series so far, and what about the show may have disappointed you? So, like I've said many times, I had no real expectations for Buffy going in. Just obviously, since I watched Supernatural, many people were like, you like Supernatural, you might like Buffy. So I was going in thinking that it could be, like, Supernatural, and, you know, I had a lot of, like, ideas. Like, I thought being a Slayer was, like, a family thing, you know, like a family business kind of thing, you know, kind of like on Supernatural, like, being a hunter is, like, a family it's their family business. So I thought it was gonna be like that, and then obviously to see, like, a teenager just be on her own trying to fight these demons by herself with, like, a watcher, and, like, it's just very interesting. Yeah, like, I don't feel like I really have a whole lot of clear expectations, especially the past couple seasons, because I don't really know what the hell is going to happen. So I don't think I've ever really been let down by the show, only in the sense that the last season finale, like, the last 2 episodes of the season, I was kind of let down with, like, how much they kind of built up Adam, and then it was just like, okay. But, I think that was more in me, like, wanting a little bit more out of the villain itself. But then I think more about it, I'm like, well, actually, I like how, you know, the gang kind of comes together and they're able to defeat Adam just by themselves, and, like, they each bring something to the table that, you know. So it's like, a lot of the times if I ever do initially feel, like, let down or anything, I think about it more, and I'm like, well, actually, I kind of like it. So yeah, not much to be, like, you know, my expectations being let down. Maddie asks, what do you think the cheese man from Buffy Manny asks, what do you think the cheese man from the Buffy finale means? Do you think it was random, or that it has a meaning behind him appearing in their dreams? I'm not sure. I think, a couple people commented, they're like, well, it could be, like, a signal to, like, the audience that all their dreams are connected, which I feel like that might be the most compelling case for the cheese man. It's just funny, because, like, Obviously in psychology, it's like a huge thing to like dissect dreams and stuff, but like a lot of like research has been done as to like dreams are fucking weird. Like they just do whatever the hell they want. So I feel like it is just like a random ass thing that's happening. But obviously because all of them had the cheese man in their dreams, it's kind of a signal to the audience that it was a like joined dream, and like all of them weren't just having weird dreams, it was like something more meaningful, which is funny to put on a cheese man, but yeah. Okay, and someone asked, this is probably the season of Buffy that resembles the most to Supernatural. As a Supernatural fan, how does it compare? I am not sure. And the main reason that I'm going to say that is because with Buffy, I feel like the cast is a very large ensemble of actors. Like with Supernatural, you have Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles and Misha Collins in like after season 4. And that's like it. And then you have like, I don't want to spoil anyone, but like there's like a couple characters that come on later on. And then it's like, that's it. But like at the core of the show, it's always Sam and Dean. That's always what I kind of hated about the show, because like, yes, there could be characters that are added on, but like whenever it like comes down to it, it's like, well, Sam and Dean have each other, But I love Buffy for having, I don't know, like just on Supernatural, they have like this whole like family don't end in blood, but then like if it comes down to it, it does end in blood, I guess, you know? Just one of those things that I have with the show. But with Buffy, it's really like family don't end in blood. Like all of these like characters are so, they care so much about each other, and like even in episode, what was it, 21, where they were like about to go against Adam, and Spike was trying to like put them all together. They were having like a fight, and then all of them are like, okay. Who is our main enemy here? It's Spike. Why is he telling us all of this? And then they like got back together, and they're able to like look past those little arguments and like come together to do something. And I just love them so much. But in terms of like monster episodes, I did see a lot more of those in this season with like Hush and like other kinds of episodes where it's like a monster. So I did enjoy that. But again, Supernatural Monster of the Weeks are so detached from the show itself, and Buffy just has like a charm about it where like even if we have a monster episode, there's going to be something to tie it in to the rest of the plot. Like even in Hush, it's a beautifully done episode, but there's still a scene to add in more of the Buffy Riley storyline, and like they even add in like a whole storyline surrounding the monster that like Buffy and Riley, they can't talk to each other because they're talking too much, but then as soon as they can't talk, they're actually getting shit done, you know? And it's just so good. But like with Supernatural, not to bash that show so much, but obviously you guys know I was such a fan of it, and like I wanted it to be better, but just some of it was just not. Even though I do adore the show. I do. It's a love-hate relationship. You guys gotta understand. Okay, and Antonella asked, if you could change just one thing about season 4, what would it be? I mean, like I've already said, a more compelling villain. I don't know. It was just like, Adam was so interesting to me, and like I feel like they kept trying to do a bunch of stuff where like they added in Spike, they added in like him teaming up with demons, and it was just like all of this stuff, and I'm just like, I wish they just really went in on Adam. And I feel like halfway through their like storyline with Adam, I feel like they didn't really want to like add more to him, because like I feel like halfway through they were like, I don't know about this one, fam. I don't know about this for like a finale. And then I'm not sure if like the finale for season 4, like with the dream, if that was already something that was like on the producer's mind to add in, because obviously many people have said like it's a lot of foreshadowing, so I'm not sure if it was planned from the get-go, or if, you know, actors dropping out and things like that, and like changing all of the, you know, ending and stuff. Maybe they thought that Adam could not be a good, compelling, like, finale for the season, so that's why they did it before, and then they added a different finale to, like, set up the rest of the show. I'm not sure. Just, like, in general, I wish that, I don't know, even, like, with the initiative, yes, I loved it. It was so cool. I just wish they added a little more suspense to it, like adding more mystery to it. I don't know. I feel like even like the characters that like we meet in the initiative and like some of the soldiers and stuff, like they could have just added like a little bit more of an element of mystery to it, because again, this is a fucking government facility. There's gonna be secrets in it. And I feel like they tried to do that with, like, the vitamins and stuff, and, like, what Riley takes, and then, like, he stopped taking them, and then he became, like, a murderous weirdo, like, he just was going off the walls, and I feel like they tried to do that with that, but it's just, like, I don't know, it was a lot of, like, it's good, but I feel like a lot of stuff could have been added to make it so much cooler, in my mind. But that's also just me. I love when a show is able to just add in so much mystery surrounding something. Okay, and then someone else asked, what was your favorite and least favorite parts about the initiative, which I feel like I just said, like, mainly, like, it's so interesting, but I do think they could have added a little bit more of an element of mystery to it all. And, like, even, like, Walsh and stuff, like, obviously, I know the actress could not stay, but the whole, like, her trying to kill Buffy to, you know, make Riley stay, and her trying to, like, you know, keep this Frankenstein thing hidden, and, like, not everyone knows about it, and I feel like if they were able to prolong that whole thing, it could have been so cool, especially if they played more into like the Riley and Walsh thing, like Riley looking up to Walsh as like a mother figure maybe. And I feel like they did try and do this, like with the whole Riley Adam thing. They tried to connect it as like, Walsh is our mother, she made us, and I'm like, where did this come from? And I feel like it's something that they had to begin with, and maybe they were planning on building up Walsh and Riley's relationship a lot more, but maybe they just didn't have the time, or they weren't able to in the way that they wanted to. At least, I mean, maybe they did, and me as like an audience member, I just didn't see it that like much. But yeah, how do you think the season would be different if Angel had never left the show? Oh wow. Wow, I do not know where I would even put Angel in the season. Like, seriously, like, especially because, like, Angel and Buffy's relationship is kinda over. Where do you put him? I'm not really sure. So yeah, honestly, I'm not sure. Because, like, even in season 3 of, Buffy, I think I mentioned this, like, Angel in that season is so, like, out of place in a lot of ways. Like, even near the end where, like, they're trying to, like, break up, but then they want to be together, and then they're, like, breaking up again, but oh no, it's the end of the world with the mayor wanting to be a giant snake, so Angel has to help, but then Angel wants to leave, and, like, it's this whole thing. So yeah, even, like, when Angel came back in season 3, I was like, okay. So yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I'm just so glad Angel got his own show, because I feel like on Buffy, he wouldn't have been able to grow as a character, I think. Especially, like, being in Sunnydale, staying near Buffy, someone that he wants to be with, but he literally cannot be with. I think it would have just, like, not let him grow. So I am glad, like, he was able to move to LA and, like, you know, find another group to grow with. So honestly, if Angel was still on Buffy, I don't think I would like Angel's character that much, because I don't think they would be able to give him the time to grow, which I feel like that just comes with like having an ensemble cast, like a lot of characters. But even with the initiative and Riley coming in and even Spike also being a regular, like, it was just not the place to allow Angel the time to, you know, become a better character, or like a more well-rounded character with that, you know? Especially because like season 1 of Buffy was so like, ooh, who's this mysterious boy? Ooh, who is he? And then, you know, now he's like a giant dork on Angel, and I love him. So yeah, I just love that progression. Antonella asked, best Buffy outfits of the season, and what about her hair? So this is actually pretty funny, because I think the first episode where Buffy like curled her hair or something, I think I like complimented it, and then like later on it's like this whole thing where like whenever Buffy's hair is curly, it means like she's not herself, and I'm like, dang it, I like that style on her though. But wait, I need to get it. Give me one sec. In episode 20 and 21, I love Buffy's hair so much. And then this is gonna be very specific, but episode 11, in the scene in the cemetery when Riley like sees her like fighting a demon, I love that outfit on her so much. Mwah, beautiful. And I love her episode in the Pangs episode. A little off the shoulder. Girl. Girl. And I think honorable mention, Beer Bad, that hair. I also do love her pigtails in episode 4. So cute, I love her. And I just really like episode 1, like her shirt where like she's fighting what's her name? Sunday? Sydney? It starts with an S. I don't know, the vampire girl. I just love her hair this season too. Like, I don't know, I just love it. I love the length that it is at. I love blonde hair. I wish I could pull it off, but I don't think I would be able to. Okay, someone asked, which season 4 predictions of yours became true, and in which ways were they way off base? I don't know what I predicted. Let me see. It's been a while.
I have a feeling Cordelia might not be a main character anymore, and I feel like they might add someone. But I honestly don't know, anything could happen.
That is so funny, because literally I had no idea if Cordelia was going to be in the show anymore. And so yeah, that's something that I thought, like, I was like, is she going to be in it? I really hope so. And then she ended up being an Angel, which I love that choice so much, so much. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what other predictions I really had about the show, for the season, especially because like most of the time I just like want to just go in and see what the hell happens. But like with like my predictions for like the cast and everything and like who is gonna stay on the show and all that, it's funny how that works out, that I was like so like adamant that like I want Cordelia on this show, but I think her on Angel is like so much better for her character. Okay, Ross asked, did you see Christophe Beck playing the piano when Giles walked on stage? He's the genius behind Buffy's score up to this point, which hits a peak during Restless. I did not. Someone commented on that and pointed out to me. Love Christophe Beck. This man. Literally, anytime I comment on the scoring for a episode, everyone's like, oh, that's Christophe Beck. That's him. This man. Oh, I love him. Like, he's like right up there with like Danny Elfman. Like, Danny Elfman, oh, that man. His scoring for the Spider-Man trilogy. Anyways, so yeah, Christophe Beck is probably like one of my main faves for people that make scores. Ooh, so good. Okay, Samantha asked, season 4 of Buffy was fairly divisive at the time of release. It was widely considered to be the weakest season up to that point, but had some of their strongest individual episodes. Did you prefer the season as a whole, or like many others, do you like parts of the season but not the overall arc? I feel like I've already mentioned this, but yes. It's like, I'm torn, because some of this season had my favorite episodes, and then it's like, the overall arc kind of is like, eh. So, yeah, it's like, I want to, like, rate this season higher, mainly because, like, just like even the overall like production value for like all these episodes are so good. Like also the like fighting and the stunts and everything and just like the effects and it's so well done. But it's just like the arc, like overall thing with the initiative and all of that, you know, it do be like that. Fui asked, some say this is the second Frankenstein storyline featured on the show. Who wins a date with you, Adam or Daryl? Is Daryl the one from Some Assembly Required? Please say no. I will have to say Adam because best case scenario he just kills me. AU asked, how do you feel about the dynamics switching this season without the high school, Xander going from job to job, Giles going through a semi-midlife crisis, and Buffy and Willow in new and very different relationships? How do you think that will impact stories and character arcs going into season 5? So, I didn't really pick up on this dynamic that the show was trying to put into this season until near the end, which I really wish I picked up on it earlier just so I could like look at it like more. But I really didn't notice it a lot because obviously they add in Spike and they add in Riley and the initiative stuff and all this stuff going on. And when you take a step back and you try and just look at like the characters that we've already known, like Willow and Xander and Giles and all of them, and it's like none of them interact like they used to, really. Like obviously Giles, like he in the beginning of the season wanted to like try and like not be super involved in Buffy's like slaying and stuff, and then Willow, obviously she's going through like her own thing and like trying to understand herself, and like, you know, she's dating Tara and like it's all confusing for her. And then Xander also has Anya, so like it's kind of like he has this long-term relationship already, and then like he's trying to find a job and he doesn't know what to do, and then he's still living at home, and as we've already established, his home life isn't the best, so it's like he's going through a lot. And then Buffy, obviously she's trying to date Riley, but then Riley's a part of the initiative, and oh no, is the initiative bad? Is Riley bad by like, you know, working with them, you know? And it's just a lot of like internal things that all of them are going through that like kind of divides them, and they're not really like talking to each other or like hanging out a lot. Like even that one episode where Buffy asks or Willow asks Buffy to like come out to a club with her and Xander and Anya, and then like she comes with like the initiative guys and like Riley, and like it's kind of like, okay, I thought this was gonna be like a cool fun friends thing, but sure. So yeah, I think it's also just very accurate to how friends work in that kind of like life like stage, because like it's just so strange. Like even people that I used to see every single day during college, I barely talk to anymore, just because like our lives are just so different now. And especially high school, even like I had like a couple friends in high school, but like even them I like don't even talk to anymore. And yeah, it's just interesting how they went about it, and I really like that like they're not perfect, they're not in a perfect friendship group, and they're not all like, you know, super buddy all the time, because, you know, they all have their own lives. And yeah, so yeah. And how do I think this will impact stories and character arcs going to season 5? I'm not sure, especially after episode 21. Hopefully they do become more close, especially because like they talked about it and they're like, yeah, we have not been hanging out a lot and all that stuff, so like maybe they'll you know like start hanging out more and all that jazz. Hopefully. I would love to see more of that content. Nicholas asks, given your strong opinions on Oz, what are your thoughts on the original idea of a longer love triangle with Willow and Veruca? I would kill myself. I would rather die than have to live through a longer love triangle between those three. And my hatred for Oz would be tenfold if they made me keep watching that. Oh my god. Adventures Jamie asked, do you think you would have gotten more out of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer if you had watched it when it aired, due to it being about tackling contemporary themes, or do you think that it's timeless, especially since this season is more about the character development? So it's kind of like I'm torn, because like I adore this show, but like I've said a couple times, I feel like it's just so timeless. It's so, like, a lot of these things can just be added to, like, real world things that are happening 20 years later. And like I've already said, like, this show has connected with so many points in my life that it's honestly scary how it like connects with me so well. I don't know, it's just so like cathartic as well. Like, so much of it is so real and I just love it so much. But with like the like issues that it tries to like tackle sometimes, I do feel like sometimes I kind of miss it, because obviously I'm 22, almost 23. I'm going to be 23 next month. But yeah, I obviously have not lived through some of that stuff. And sure, that will be like missed on me, but it's not like a lot of problems that were present like 20 years ago aren't in some way still present today. Like, even things that like were a problem 20 years ago, I'm sure there's something that I could relate to today, if that makes sense. Walter asked, were you at all disgusted with Buffy's choice to have sex with Parker without really knowing him well? I actually love the show for making the choice to do that for Buffy, because I feel like that's such like a thing for, well, actually I'm not really sure. So like let me talk this out. So media, obviously they like to treat sex as like something that like should not be done by like teenagers going into college, when like we all know it's going to happen. So it's something that I appreciate the show for going into, especially because like Buffy has been trying to get over Angel. She's still hung up on him, so she's trying to like push herself to move on. And then, you know, she finds Parker, tries to, you know, do all that stuff, and then he turns out to be a dick. So it's just one of those things where like I wish that didn't happen. But it's a life lesson. I mean, I feel like a lot of people have gone through things. Like I like first person that I really like dated 6 months later, he told me that he didn't think of it as dating because I didn't man up and be like, hey, we should put a label on this. And so I went 6 months into like just talking to someone, and then they were like, actually, I don't see this as dating and I'm not ready for a relationship. Goodbye. So that was fun. So like people just have to live through things and make mistakes and learn from them. And I learned that, you know, a lot of things about relationships and things that I didn't think I needed to know or like learn, and I did. So I like how the show allows Buffy to make that mistake and learn from it. I'm not disgusted at all with it. Like, you know, like, do what you want, girl. Do whatever the hell you want. Especially with like that part of your life. Yeah, but obviously Buffy is like my child. I want her to be safe. I want her to be, you know, wholesome, and like I want her to be thriving. And obviously Parker was that little bitch in the way, and he was dealt with. Someone asked, did you miss the bronze and the guest performances this season? Fucking yes. Oh my god. I literally was thinking about this. Like, every single time this one song comes on, it's by, shoot! What song is it? Give me a second. It's on my playlist. I'm gonna find it. Shadows by 4-Star Mary. It's one of the songs that was in, like, season 2 or something. I mentioned, I was like, oh my god, this song is so good. And then someone mentioned, like, what the song was, and then I added it to my playlist. And it's so fucking good. But, yeah, literally anytime it comes on, I'm like, I miss the Brahms. I miss when, like, we would just go to the Brahms for an episode and we get, like, a cool little scene where, like, there's a band and even, like, Dingoes Ate My Baby. I miss it. But yeah, it was something that I was like, maybe they'll make, like, a different Brahms or something, and then it never happened. I don't know. It's definitely something that I'm like, season 2, season 3, season 1 even. I miss it. It's just one of those things that, like, makes me so nostalgic for the earlier seasons. Keanu asked, what do you think of Spike's involvement in the season of Buffy? What are your expectations for the future? So I think I've already mentioned this a little bit, but Spike, I was not expecting to be, like, a season regular. And it's one of those things where, like, it's just strange to think about in my brain to be like, Spike is in every episode basically in this season. And it's just strange because he's not like a normal character, if that makes sense. Like, he doesn't have the character development of, like, Willow or Xander, because he's a vampire that's been alive for hundreds of years, and so he's not gonna just change his thinking super willy-nilly. Like, he's, like, kind of overgrowing in that way. But I do love how Spike is able to get things out of people and, like, mention things, and he just reads people so clearly. Like, in that one episode where I think it was, like, right after Willow, like, found out about Veruca and then Oz left, like, she came in or something, and then she's like, oh, I'm gonna go do this, da-da-da. And then Buffy and Giles were like, what do you think is happening with Willow? Do you think she's okay? And then Buffy's like, yeah, she's dealing, she's fine. And then Spike's like, you idiots, she is going through it. How do you not see that? And I just love how he's able to see that and just, like, point it out and, like, make these little things that might take a couple weeks, maybe, like, you know, for it to come up and, like, actually be, like, an actual discussion between, you know, like, Buffy and Willow about, like, you know, her feelings on Oz and the whole thing. And it just, like, brings it up, and it's like, no, it's still a problem. And whether you would like to know it or not, you're gonna know it. Here it is. And I just really like that. But yeah, so I feel like Spike is a very nice, like, tool for the show to use as, like, a character that's able to just, like, be there and, like, add in things for, like, a conversation that, like, most people wouldn't want to mention, but he's gonna mention anyway because he's Spike. So I am curious to see how, like, is he gonna be a season regular next season? I feel like he's going to be, just because I don't see why he wouldn't be. But yeah, even, like, him coming in, what was it, Harsh Light of Day, and then he went over to Angel, and there's just, like, a bunch of stuff that would happen with Spike that I really, really liked, that I was not expecting the slightest. Like, he joined season 2 to be an antagonist, and now he's a season regular. I love it. Oh, the character development. Mwah, so good. So yeah, I do love that. And for next season, I'm honest, I feel like he's gonna be a season regular, but also I don't really know. But yeah, I do hope he's integrated into, like, the plot a little more. Like, I feel like for a lot of season 4, he wasn't really in the plot. Like, obviously he had the initiative thing, like, so, like, he had, like, the chip in his brain to, like, make him not want to vamp out. Does he still have that chip? I don't remember if Adam took it out or not. I'm not sure. We shall see. But yeah, so, like, we had that, and then later on, we had Adam and Spike working together, and, like, Spike trying to, like, put them all together. So, like, it was like that, but, like, I don't know. It was a lot of, like, little things for Spike to do. And it wasn't like he's, like, at the forefront of a lot of it. Like, every episode we did have, like, a couple scenes with him, but it was, like, just something in the background a lot of the times, in my opinion. But I do hope he's like a little more at the forefront of a little bit more of like maybe like a little subplot for a couple episodes, you know? But I did really like him in the initiative breaking out and like having all this information about the initiative, and then they see Buffy and he's like, I'm not gonna tell you, and then he's like, well, actually I have a chip in my brain where I can't even vamp out anymore, so it might be in my best interest to help you. And then he finds out about Adam and everything. And like he even has that like little like tiny plot where it's like, I'm gonna be a monster hunter because those are the people that I can fight without, you know, vamping out. And it's just very good. Thomas asked, do you have any theories about what is going to happen in the next season? No. And do you also agree that Tara and Willow are just the best? Yes. So yeah, it's just like, I don't really have a lot of expectations or even like thoughts about what could happen in the next season because my brain dead. Omar asks, how do you feel about the government being a bunch of evil assholes? I mean, accurate, you know? Can't fault the show in just telling us the correct story. Okay, and then someone asked, this was the first time that the writers actually knew that the show would keep going, as the network ordered a 5th season before the 4th one ended, and it shows. Thoughts on that? So I do enjoy when shows are able to know if it's going to be their last season, like way ahead of time, because even with Supernatural, this happened a lot in like episode, like season 9 plus. I don't know why I keep saying episode instead of season, but season 9 plus, I feel like a lot of it was just, it's gonna be very vague spoilers, it's not gonna be like even spoilers, but yeah, at that point, if they would never know if they would get another season. So they would not know until halfway through the season. And then it was just so apparent because the first half of the season is working so hard to like fix the problem that they set up at the beginning of the season and like all this stuff. And then halfway through, they're like, oh, we have another season, so we need to come up with another big baddie. And then they'd come up with another big baddie to like end off the season with. And I was just like, it was just one of those things where like every season was the same shit. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so over it. I do like how this season was able to end more open, and they were able to, you know, foreshadow things that obviously I don't know what they're foreshadowing, but they're able to do that because they know there's going to be another season. It's just very good, very good. Someone asked, what are your hopes for Anya going forward? I really hope, like, okay, so Where the Wild Things Are, when I posted that, I honestly really liked it, mainly for the fact that it was Anya, like, at the forefront of that episode, and I love Anya so much. And then I posted it, and then, like, a lot of people were like, oh my god, this episode's, like, the worst, and I'm like, well, Anya, it's Anya. It's Anya. Like, I'm gonna like it. So yeah, it just, like, with that, I do hope Anya is, like, a bigger part of the show, rather than just being, like, Xander's girlfriend, and, you know, she just pops up with him every once in a while to, like, you know, say some comment that she shouldn't really say, you know? Like, that's, like, all she really does in a lot of scenes, and I wish they just added her more in. And again, not to mention this again, but I just don't think Xander and Anya are, like, good for each other, especially because, like, Anya is such, like, an open person. She says whatever the fuck she wants to say. And, like, Xander is just, like, he gets so annoyed with her whenever she tries to say anything. I'm like, dude, that is your girlfriend. Chill out. Ugh. Anyways, but, I do hope that we get to see more of her if she even becomes a season regular. Could she become a season regular? Please, please, I will love it. Come on, come on. The actress also deserves it. Come on, give her that check, please. Okay, and then Antonella asks, what do you wish, not necessarily expect, for season 5? And then another person asks, give me your wildest season 5 predictions. So, let's see. I mean, let's see where we're at right now. We're at with the first layer, and that's, like, honestly it that I really feel like we also have like the Spike. Someone just also like mentioned in a question that Spike still has the chip in his head, so like that's confirmed for me. But like, so we have Spike with a chip. We have the first Slayer thingy. What else do we have? So yeah, let me just like word vomit like things that I think could happen in the next season. What if we get like a lot more information on like how the Slayer started and like more backstory on like being a Slayer and like the first Slayer, and yeah, maybe even the Watchers Council, like something happens with that, or you know, and then maybe Giles. I don't know what's gonna happen with Giles, because it's like I don't want him to like go back to like, I don't think he can go back to the Watchers Council, but like I don't know. I just want him to like do. Wait. Oh. What's that girl? What's the girl that he's like with? I forget her name. Shoot. But she's like also in his dream. So maybe they get to be together. Oh, I would love that for them. And maybe like he gets like a cool job. I don't know. I just see him as like a professor or something. Like I want him to be that intellectual bitch that we know and love. Willow and Tara, I do think they're gonna like live together next season. Please, if they do, I will cry. Yeah. And oh, that's interesting. Could Tara be a season regular? Because also, I don't know if they're gonna make Riley a season regular again. Because I feel like they did that because they're like, oh, the initiative, we need to add more initiative stuff. So then they made Riley the regular. And then I feel like they kind of... I still don't understand that choice. Because, like, Riley as a regular, like, I feel like it just kind of doesn't add as much, like, mystery surrounding the initiative. I would have been so for Riley not being a regular just for the fact that like it adds more mystery to the initiative. And let's say later on in season 4 Riley was a bad guy, you know, it would have been more believable and it would have been like a lot more interesting. Even like the ending where Adam has him like come to him and he's like, oh, I'm here. I don't know, it could have just added a lot more like mystery around it. So I'm not sure if they're gonna add him again as a regular. I also don't know about Riley and Buffy's relationship, because it's like, yes, they're cute, but like I just don't know about their relationship right now. And it's like, I don't know, I just don't see them being together longer than like half the season next season, you know? That's my prediction on their relationship, because there's just so many like differences in how they view the world also, and it's just like, I don't know. And Buffy is just such a strong woman, and like she's so like independent in that way, so I don't think like, I don't know, like they are good for each other in some ways, but I just like for the story and everything, I don't think they're gonna be together like longer term, but we shall see. So yeah, what else? I do hope that Xander gets, I don't really want them to continue like the little gag of him having like a different job every episode, so I hope he like, I don't know, like he finds like a actual job that he could do or something like that. And like him and Anya's relationship, if they do stay together, because I feel like they will, I hope it just improves with like, because Xander looks so annoyed anytime Anya talks, and it pisses me off. Like it's like, Anya, that's just how she is. Like, don't date her if you can't deal with it. I'm just saying. Yeah. What else? But yeah, I do think it's going to start after the summer, and then it's gonna pick up at their sophomore year of college. So interested about that. Did we ever find out what their majors are? Did we ever find out? I don't know. I want to look it up, but I'm scared to. I don't know. But, like, if it's available, I do see Willow being, like, a little TA or something. I don't think that they're available for sophomores in undergrad, but, like, an assistant or something, you know? For, like, a professor, I totally see her doing that. But yeah, so with Willow, again, with the whole Wiccan thing, I am not going to lie to you guys. It's starting to just scare me a tiny bit because it's been this thing that has like been in the show for a while, and it's just like a lot of the times if a spell doesn't work, it's fine, you know, nothing huge happens. Like with Fear itself, like the spell that she tries to use doesn't really work out, but like it's not like a huge deal. But like I'm just so scared because like every time that she tries to do a spell, it's like she's like, I can do this, we can do this, Tara, come on, you're super strong too. And I'm terrified. I'm so scared that something is going to happen with them. Oh my god. I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't want to speak it into existence. But I just want to say I'm scared. I want them to be safe. Okay? I want them to be safe. I would also like, you know, as I already mentioned with Spike, because I'm not really sure if he's going to be a regular, but it would be interesting if like the chip thing does like, I don't want them to like drag it on, but it would be cool for like a couple episodes in the beginning of season for like him to be like, now what the fuck do I do now with the initiative gone? How am I gonna get this shit out of my head, you know? But if he like just like goes to like some like random like surgeon in like another country, he just like slaps down a bunch of money, he's like, listen, I got this chip in my head, please take it out. And what if like he also gets Drusilla? I'm just saying. Please, I just want to see Drusilla one more time. Please, it's been 2 seasons. Why are you depriving me of Drusilla content? It's rude. Honestly. But yeah, so like going like off the walls, trying to like it predict any of next season. Let's see. It's also like I don't know what the big baddie is going to be. Like if you told me in season 3 that the big baddie for season 4 is a demon Frankenstein from a government facility, I'd be like, how do we get there? You know? So I'm not sure how that's gonna go, you know? I don't know. What if like just because like she kind of mentioned it and the finale, obviously it was Xander's dream and it's not Anya's, but what if like Anya does like, wait, she doesn't have her demon powers anymore, right? Or does she? I don't remember. But no, I don't think she does anymore, right? Be like, what if like she becomes a demon again and like starts doing that kind of shit again, you know? Or I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be one of the people that we already know and something's going to happen. And that like leads them down like the wrong path or something, you know? I feel like that's going to be it because I'm just like thinking like other shows that I've seen where like the first couple seasons are like the big baddie's like this big, you know, demon or something. And then like later down the line, it's like one of, you know, people that they know or something, you know? Could be. But it's also like, I can never predict this because it's like, Buffy could literally just come up with like some random demon and be like, yeah, this is our antagonist, you know? So I don't know. My brain is fried. Alex and Freya asked, do you find the way that Willow and Tara's relationship has been portrayed as frustrating or more of a sign of how far we've come as a society? I feel like it's very frustrating, mainly because obviously like nowadays, I feel like in this kind of relationship, it would have been like not as off screen, because like I feel like so much of their relationship has been off screen. Like literally we meet Tara, she's so cool, and then they start hanging out more, and it's just this, all of this like fade to black. Like it's like, oh, they hang out, fade to black, and then they come back like an episode later, and then it's like 4 episodes later, and Willow and Tara are like having this emotional conversation. I'm like, what? When did this happen? I'm so like frustrated that I didn't get to see them, like, you know, start to like try and date, or like, you know, those kinds of things that happen in those kinds of relationships, you know, like things that start out as friendships and then it's like, well, actually I like you a little bit more. How do we go about this, you know? It's just so frustrating. I wanted to see it. It's so sad. But it does really show like how it's changed, especially in media, because like media is so like censored with those kinds of things. Even today, like, you've seen Supernatural, you know what I'm about to say. I'm not gonna say it, but you guys know what I'm thinking about. With how some ways it has not progressed. But yeah, it's also just like society, yes, has changed, but it's also always down to the producers and like what they want to do. Cause like most stations, I feel like nowadays, they're completely fine if a same-sex relationship is like at the forefront of a story. But then it's up to the producers to like make sure that it's not a stereotypical one or something that like does more harm than good, you know? Because like sometimes I'll watch like a movie or something, like, oh my god, I watched this one movie last year, I think. Oh my, this was when I was like super into like TikTok and all of that, and even like Tumblr and Instagram, like all of them were like raving about this movie because it was about a two girls that like, you know, they both liked each other, but then like there was also this like other guy character, and it was like the half of it. Oh my god, it's literally. And another one, let me see, I think it was like Alex Strangelove. This fucking movie, it's about this guy that's in a relationship with a girl, and they've been dating for like years, but for some reason they haven't, you know, done the deed yet, and they're in high school, so it's like, you know, they haven't done the deed yet, and they're like, well, let me see, and then the guy like tries to like experiment a little and be like, I don't know, maybe I just don't like girls that way. And then he sees this one guy that's like very like open with how he's gay, and then he tries to date him while he's still in a relationship. No, abso-fucking-lutely not. No. And it's just one of those things where I'm like, no, stop. I don't like it. It's just like one of those things where I'm like, you had the chance to make an LGBT movie, and you do it that way? And there's another movie just like that. Give me a second. Oh my god. Imagine Me and You. I hate it. I hate it. Oh my god. This is an earlier movie. This was made in 2005. But it's literally about this couple that's about to get married. No, literally, they are married. They get married. And then this one girl is like working at her wedding. And then they start to become close. And then she starts cheating on her husband with her. And then they end up together at the end, and it's supposed to be like a super happy ending. Meanwhile, she was cheating on her husband during the entire fucking film. No, absolutely not. Sorry this was such a weird tangent, but what was I even trying to say? But yeah, so like as a society today, I feel like we are in all a lot more accepting of, you know, same-sex relationships and all that. But I just hate media where they continue to throw in a stereotype, or like the story that they choose to tell is so like, yeah, let's show another same-sex relationship that's only done by one of them cheating on their spouse, or Oh my god. It literally makes me want to lose my mind when I watch a same-sex relationship on a movie or TV show and I'm like, I want to be rooting for you, but you're literally cheating on your husband. What? In that way, I am so happy for Willow that she got to, she obviously broke up with Oz and like that was very traumatic and like hurtful for her. But then she was able to move on and find something else about herself. And I'm so happy that like that was able to happen. And yeah, it's just so good. Immaculate. Oh, Katie asks, which character have you changed your mind about the most? In a positive or negative way? Probably Xander. I like him a lot more than I used to. And I think that might be because he's not at like the forefront of like a lot of the episodes. And just like in the past episodes, like, or past seasons where like he's like in a lot of it, like at the forefront, I just like am reminded how much like he is a teenage boy. But I just like him a lot more now. Obviously I still do not like how he treats Anya and their relationship, but with him on his own, I do feel like he's like growing a lot more and like becoming like an adult in some ways, which I just like. And also Anya, I love Anya. I adore her, and I was not expecting to like her as much as I do. Like even like in Fear itself, I wasn't entirely sure how much I was gonna like her, but then like she's so cute. I love her so much. Oh, okay. Jeff asks, one of the main themes of season 4 is outright stated in episode 1, the effects of operant conditioning. This is seen in Riley and the other soldiers in the initiative, but is mostly profoundly used on Spike. Like a dog, he is punished when he does something bad. At times, he almost does good. The question is, do you think Spike, a creature without a soul, can be trained to be a good person? I think so. I mean, just conditioning itself, like if you don't know, operant conditioning is like giving someone a punishment or a reward to either increase or decrease a certain thing. Like it's like giving a kid candy, or like giving a kid like no bedtime if he does his homework immediately, like or like even like a dog, like if you want to teach a dog a trick, whenever they do the trick you give them a treat, and then whenever over time all you have to do is like say the trick name, and then they'll do it because they've been conditioned to associate positive things with doing that trick, So I feel like any sort of being that has wants and desires can be conditioned. I mean, we've conditioned pigeons. We've literally conditioned pigeons to do puzzles. Like, it's very cool. Look it up. It's a really cool video on YouTube. I forget the name of it, but like pigeons, those dumb fucks, we've been able to condition them into doing puzzles. It's so fucking cool. And so like any sort of being that has a want or desire, or like understands like positive like effects to what their actions are, so like it is kind of interesting how like whenever he wants to vamp out, he gets he hurts, like he has a negative reaction to it. So it's like, I did not even think about that. That is so interesting how they did that. So I do wonder if he's going to get it out. If he does, like what's going to happen. So that could be pretty cool. And I definitely do think that he could be conditioned to be a better person. It's just, I feel like it's going to take a lot of time because obviously he's been like a bad vampire for hundreds of years. So and then David asks, which main cast member of Buffy would you most likely like to see demoted to reoccurring guest, and which minor character would you like to see in the main cast? I would love to see, I think, again, I love Spike. Spike demoted, I think, just because unless they use him, I think, a lot better, I don't think he really deserves to be on like the cast. Nothing against like the actor or anything, just like the character itself, like in the story, And I would love to see Tara be a reoccurring character. And even Riley, just because I've already said I don't really think Riley is going to be like in a relationship with Buffy like much longer, like further into the season. And I would love to see Anya on the guest list, you know? But yeah, but also even like Xander's like in it, but like he's not. You know, it's just so strange that this entire season is just like for Xander going job to job, and like he sometimes helps and sometimes just there to give a funny joke, you know? It's just so interesting how they use Xander's character. And I do hope they kind of use his character a lot more in the next season. And, you know, maybe he gets a job somewhere where, like, he can help out, or, like, they give him skills to do something, or maybe he works at a new job, and then, like, the job has, like, some shady shit happening with, like, demons and stuff, you know? Like, I don't know, something cool like that. Oh my god, Valkyrie asked, I recall you calling Anya annoying. Do you regret those vicious words towards the resident chaos agent on the show? Yes, I'm so sorry, Valkyrie. Please forgive me, please. Someone asked, thoughts on the Scoobies' reaction to Willow being queer. Buffy was surprised and immediately supportive, while Xander was surprised and then in episode 22 was still processing. Personally, I love how Willow being queer is treated as a non-issue, even though it still surprises her two best friends because they both don't treat her differently, but they still take some time to process. So, like, I personally, like, obviously while watching, I was very scared, and I was like, oh no, Buffy, please be supportive. But, like, I think it would have been out of character for her to be, like, immediately supportive of Willow. And I do like how she, like, takes a second, she's like, okay, yeah. And, like, even, like, for Xander, I guess I understand, like, why it could be so, like, confusing for him, just especially because, like, I sometimes forget this, but, Willow and Xander did have, like, a little thing in, like, season 2. So, yeah, that happened. So, he's probably, like, confused on, like, that, and, like, and also, just a side note, I keep, like, mentioning Willow and Tara as, like, lesbians, but, like, I don't know what Tara is, but Willow, I feel like, on the show is probably portrayed as bisexual, but, you know, I'm bi. I'm not trying to be a biracial over here, okay? But, yeah, I just like how, even for Willow, it was just so confusing for her, and she just waited so long to mention it, and yeah, and she didn't even have to mention it, or she didn't mention it until, like, she had to, when, wasn't it, like, after Oz, like, tried to, like, go after Tara? I don't think. But yeah, I think it was well done with how they both reacted, at least, like, writing-wise, you know? Someone asked, be honest, did you expect Tara and Willow to become canon, or were you just quietly shipping it, fully believing that you were being queer-baited? I was honestly very scared that I was being queer-baited, especially because, like, you know, y'all already know I watch Supernatural, so I'm no stranger to being queer-baited. But, yeah, especially because, like, the time that it was released, I wasn't really expecting them to, like, make it a thing on the show. So I was fully expecting, like, maybe there's, like, a scene where, like, it could be interpreted as them being together, and then, you know, I'll get, like, a couple comments later on, a couple episodes later, like, oh yeah, it can be looked at like that, but, you know, it's not technically ever stated in the show. But they really went all out. They really did it. Oh my god. Again, I'm still kind of mad that we've never had an on-screen kiss, and at this point I don't think it's gonna happen, but I love them so much. They're so cute. And then someone else asked, when did you start shipping them, as opposed to, like, when did you finally realize that it was actually gonna happen? So I did always love them together. especially like I think like the second episode that Tara was in, I was like, they would be so cute. And then even like the whole Oz thing happened, and then Tara was there. I'm like, it'd be so cute if they got together. But I didn't really say anything because I didn't want to be like, you know, the girl that's like, you know, trying to, you know, make everything queer, because, you know, I have been like that. But I just like, as soon as, what episode was it? It was the episode, like the second part of the Faith two-parter, right? Where, didn't they have a scene where like, it was like, I forget what the scene was, but like they were like talking. I was like, wait a minute, really? But again, I didn't really mention it because I was like, I don't want to like go all in on this and like be so incorrect, and like I don't want to make a fool of myself again. Please, I did it for literally I did it for like 4 seasons of Supernatural. I don't need to do that to myself again. Okay, and then Valkyria asks, how has your view on Riley and Buffy's relationship changed over the course of season 4? And how do you think it's going to continue into season 5? So, like I already mentioned, I don't think it's going to really last much longer. Maybe a couple more episodes, and then it's gonna like you know, break off. I don't know if it's because like something big happens. Maybe something big happens, and like they have like a big like butting heads thing, and like they have to break up or something. Or maybe it's just gradual, because like I just feel like they don't really mesh that well anymore. And like, again, the main reason why I was so like into them was because Buffy got out of a relationship, then she, you know, had the whole Parker thing, and then she just needed like someone, because like she just, I don't know, she just wanted someone to be with. And I feel like Riley was like the perfect kind of person. They were both in the lifestyle. He knows how to defend himself. He knows how to fight monsters. So like he's not at any risk to be dating Buffy. And yeah, I just liked that. And I liked how like some people have mentioned that him being so, not forceful, but like pushy, I guess, with Buffy, and being like, what episode is it? Is it like episode 11 or something? I forget. But like when they're like walking on that one street, and then Buffy's like, you know, I don't know if we can do this, and then Riley's like, no, you're just like, you know, you're just scared of it, and like some people were like, well, I don't really like how Riley thinks that he knows best for Buffy.
You have no idea what you're talking about. You barely know me.
I know that it's not just the job thing. I'm sure that there's some good-looking guy who done you wrong in there, too. But mostly, I think you want to stay down in the dark place. Because maybe it's safer down there.
You're so out of line.
No. See, I don't think so. Look, we have an opportunity here, you and me. The fact that you're too scared to even give it a try.
It's my business.
And it's like, no, I don't think that he thinks that he knows better than Buffy for herself. I think that Riley is just so like, he sees what Buffy can't in herself. Like a lot of the season, I feel like Buffy keeps self-sabotaging in certain ways because she's so scared of the same thing that happened with Angel for happening, or even with Parker. Like she's just scared of being abandoned again. And I mean, that's like, it's a believable thing that could happen to someone. And then like, I mean, a similar kind of thing happened with me and my boyfriend, because like I met my boyfriend a couple months after I broke up with my ex, and I was in that phase in my life where I'm like, okay, I don't need to be in a relationship. I just need to just experience life and just try and figure it out, you know? And I was just like, even when I started dating him or like talking to him, I was like, I don't know if I'm like super ready for a relationship. And then he asked me a couple weeks into like us like going on dates and like just talking, and I was like, you know, now that you mention it, sure, let's try this out, you know? But it wasn't really like me pushing for it. He asked, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's go for it. And now obviously we've been dating for quite a while now, and it's going really good. But with Buffy and Riley, I feel like it's just like Riley was able to see that Buffy kept on sabotaging herself and like not allowing herself to really enjoy like dating someone, or like, because obviously Buffy liked him, you know, like it's not like any secret that Buffy liked him, and Riley really liked her too. And I don't know, that was just something I wanted to mention. But so I like their progression of like them first talking, starting to, you know, date a little, and then Buffy's like, oh, actually, I don't know, I'm kind of scared of getting into a relationship, and then Riley's like, no, you're just sabotaging yourself, you want, like, I will be here for you, you know, I'm not gonna, like, you know, fuck you over, like, any past relationships that you might have had. But yeah, and then, like, once they got, like, more open with each other, like, with the initiative stuff, and, like, just talking about the initiative, too, and, like, how possibility that, like, Riley could be, you know, not know the full truth in it, and, all of that stuff, and, you know, Riley gets to, you know, think about it a little more, and then, you know, they just get to move past it, and, like, I don't know. Even them just, like, fighting together, I loved it, but yeah, I think it's definitely, like, for the time, I think that they were good together. But I don't know. I just have a feeling it's not going to last much longer. We shall see. Watch them to be together for, like, another 2 seasons, and I'd be completely wrong. Okay, Antonella asks, this is all about, like, ranking and everything for, like, the season. What's the season's best episode, and why is it something blue? But yeah, let me actually just, like, go through this, because I did come up with a list of my top 5 episodes for Buffy and also Angel. Yeah, since we're just talking about Buffy right now, here are my top 5. Let's get into it. Top 5, number 1, episode 4, Fear Itself. Episode 10, Hush. Episode 15 and 16, This Year's Girl and Who Are You, which is the Faith double episode. And episode 21, Primable. Is that how you say it? Primable. However you say it. But yeah, I do really love Something Blue, but those are my favorites for the season. Yeah, I just, like, Fear Itself, just so fucking good. Just a Halloween episode. Y'all already know how I feel about Halloween. I love those episodes. Episode 10, listen, I honestly feel like Hush is going to be top 5 of the entire show. Like, it's one of my favorites. And then, This Year's Girl, and then Who Are You? Like, it's just so, like, it deep dives into, like, Faith, and then we get this whole, like, different dynamic to the show with Faith, and especially, like, you know, Buffy's relationships, and, like, all of that. I just, so good. And then episode 21, which is, like, the finale for, like, the plot stuff, I just love it so much. It's just so, like everybody said, like, I don't really like how it ended with, like, the big baddie and stuff, but I do love the gang coming together, being able to fight Adam together, and, like, also, like, the ending is so cool with that, like, random, like, military, like, government dude being like, yeah, we gotta shut this shit down, and then it ends. It's just so good. I love it. Goodness, I've been recording for, like, 2 hours, and I've, like, barely gotten into Angel. Okay, and then, I feel like a bunch of people asked, how would you rate seasons 1 through 4? How would you rate the finales? And, how would you rank each season's big baddie? So, for big baddies, I would say season 2 is the best, in my opinion, with Angelus, and then Spike and Drusilla. And then the mayor / Faith, and then the master, and then Adam. Let's get it. And then for seasons, like I've already said, season 2 and season 3 are just so good to me. I do like season 3 a tiny bit more, like fully season wise, but like big baddie wise, I do like season 2 more. So it's just, it's confusing for me, okay? But I do feel like season 1 and season 4 are kind of like, season 4 a little bit more than season 1, but I still really like season 1, you know? But just like overall like writing and like production value, I do feel like season 4 is like a lot better in that way. Even like just the characters and stuff. But I still really like season 1. I'm just saying. Okay, so now let's get into Angel. This season. Okay. Let's get into it. Let's first just talk about season 1. So, season 1, like I said, it's definitely something like it took a while for it to get its footing. But some of these episodes are so fucking good near the end. Like, let me just do this real quick. I also made a top 5 list for Angel. The only thing is, I could not get it down lower than 7 episodes that were my favorite. Anyways, let me just like go through them and like tell you a little bit about them. So episode 1, City of, just such a good beginning for Angel. It's so good, and I just like how like the Wolfram Heart thing is introduced in episode 1. Episode 1. It's introduced. Excuse me? It's so good. It's like the buildup of that is so well done. It's so well done. Oh, and I'm just mentioning this because if I don't, I think Domi will literally fly through my window and kill me herself. Episode 8, I Will Remember You. Which again, while I was watching, I was like, okay, I'm kind of over this. But like looking back and like seeing how it fits into the show and how it fits into how they need to introduce this relationship to the Angel viewers and like, you know, explain that whole like complicated thing. And I also love how he understands that like he can't be human and like also be with Buffy because he's just like not strong enough. And it's also kind of like with like the ring, like he feels like he doesn't really deserve it with that, and like he just gives it back, and he just wants Buffy to be happy. And it's just, again, I really do wish that like the whole like him remembering and all that was not the case. Just because like I feel like it just adds more like man pain to him, and more sulking. But I don't know, I just think it's like one of those like one-off episodes where I'm like, it's kind of like The Wish. Like, it's just like one of those episodes where I'm like, whew, yeah, goodness. Like, what could have been, you know? Love it. And then episode 10, Parting Gifts. I just love this episode, especially after, you know, Doyle and all that stuff. I'm gonna kill myself. It's so sad. But I just love how they went about like Doyle's, you know, departure from the show, and they get to give the gifts to Cordelia. And also Wes is introduced in that episode. I forgot about that, and I fucking love Wes. Oh, so good. And then, so for this one, okay, listen, I'm gonna kind of put them together so that I can have my top 5, okay? Episode 18 and 19, 5x5, and Sanctuary with the Faith and stuff. Faith is so good. Enough said. Then, obviously, to have 5 episodes, I already have 7 right now, but I'm gonna put these together as well. Episode 21 and 22, which I kind of like feel like they're kind of similar. Listen. I'm just gonna put them together, okay? I make up the rules. Blind Date and To Shanshu in LA. I just love the way that they ended this season. It's so good. It's so good. Like, the way they began this season and then the way that they ended it. Bruh. Literally, the last 5 episodes of this show, of this season, fucking baller. Even episode 20, Warzone, is like fucking good. It's good, okay? Anyways, moving on to the questions. Okay, someone asked, how do you feel about Darla's return, and what do you think Wolfram Hart will do with her? So, I'm not sure how they came to a point where they're like, we need to get Darla. That's the way to kill Angel, you know? How did they get there? I don't know, but they did. So now we're here. Yeah. I'm not sure if they're gonna like let Darla just do whatever she wants to get close to Angel and then kill him, or if they're gonna like kind of dictate how she goes about it, you know? But I am very curious to see how that all happens, especially because like now we know how their relationship kind of ended is because like obviously in that one episode, I forget which episode, but like they had a flashback and they showed Darla getting Angel a like Romani girl, and then obviously Angel killed her, and then her people put a curse on Angel, and then he got his soul, and then Darla saw that, and Darla was literally like, okay, you need to leave. I'm not into this anymore. You got a soul now. That's disgusting. Get out of here. Like, she was like cutthroat, like really. But so yeah, because of that, and obviously like after that, you know, Darla tried to help with the master, and then, you know, tried to help with like the whole like, I think she tried to kill Buffy. Yeah, I think she tried to kill Buffy and like the whole Angel thing, and then I forget who killed Darla. I think Buffy killed Darla, right? I'm not sure. But in season like 1, Darla dies, and it's like that's kind of like it. So it would be interesting if Darla like tries to like add a little bit more like an emotional impact into it, and like adds more like that kind of vibe into it. That would be so interesting. But yeah, I just don't really know how they're gonna do it. I'm just so excited to see what they do, because like come on, that's gonna be so cool to see Darla like interacting with Angel again, you know? Ooh, I cannot wait. And then Hedvig asks, what shocked you the most about the Angel series? The characters, the tone, or something else? Definitely the tone, or like the way that they frame the show, and like even just like the lighting and stuff. It's like just so different than Buffy, and it's just so like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just so much more I don't know, more gritty, I guess. Like it's just very different from Buffy, and like how they approach things with like just themes and things, and I wasn't expecting it, but I really like the difference that it gives us, rather than, you know, being the same as Buffy. AU asks, at what point during the season do you feel that you really turned around on it and felt like you really understood what was going on for the show? Obviously, like the last 5 episodes were like fucking amazing. Like those ones I was like, that made me all in on the show, you know? Like that made me fucking excited to see what was happening. Oh my god, even episode 17, like do you remember like that one actress lady, and then like she wants to be a fucking vampire, and like that whole thing happens? Like it's just so cool how like, I don't know, just like the last couple episodes of the season really just brought me in, and they were like, yes, these are fucking good. So yeah, I feel like episode 17, 18, 19, that's where like I was like into the episode, especially don't remember if it was 5x5 or Sanctuary. I think it was Sanctuary, where Buffy came in, and then like Angel had like that whole conversation with her. Like Buffy and Angel were like having an argument before Buffy left, and then like Buffy was just like, I don't know, like again, I feel like Angel wasn't like in the wrong to like, you know, say what he said, but just like him being like, you know, this is my city, okay? I'm the one that, you know, is in charge around here. You know, you can't just come in here, think you can like run the world and like do whatever you want here. And I just love that so much. Like I adore like the whole like, this is my city, I'm gonna make this city better. It's just so good. It's a little cheesy at times, but I love it. It's so good. Ooh, okay. So someone asked, what are your thoughts on Angel delving more into the concept of higher powers, such as, like, you know, the powers that be, the visions, oracles, since the idea was only touched on in Buffy the Vampire Slayer with whoever brought Angel back, the first evil, and then the snowy divine intervention. I think it was super cool how they add more into the universe. Like, I feel like I said this in the finale review that I did for season 1. This show is so much more of the world. It's not really centered on Angel completely. It's a lot more about the world and where LA is and, like, how things work in the Buffyverse. And I think that's just so interesting. And I just love how, like, even with, like, Angel coming back in season 3 of Buffy, like, that's so interesting. And I do wish they, like, kind of looked a little bit more into that. But it's just so cool how all these, like, higher powers are, like, interfering with all this stuff. And, like, even, like, the prophecy and stuff, I just think it's so cool to think about, like, a higher power having some sort of influence on things that are happening. It's just really cool. I really like it. I do hope that it's not, like, it doesn't become, like, a huge thing. Because, again, Supernatural kind of touched on this in some of the seasons. I don't want to spoil anything, but, like, I didn't really enjoy the way that they went about it in Supernatural. So I just hope that they go about it in a good way, if that makes sense. You know, I don't want it to be, like, the only, like, sort of, like, thing that's, like, taking away from their, like, free will, if that makes sense. Like, I do like how the characters are still able to do that. And even with, like, the prophecy, it's not really, like, it's against his free will. It's just, like, he has to do all these things and then he gets to be human. But it's not like I don't know how to explain. That's, like, the one thing I don't like in TV shows where, like, there's a higher power, where, like, there's no free will. And then, like, at the end of, like, a couple seasons, it's like, oh, so, like, none of these characters actually had, like, a say in what they just did, and it was just, like, all this higher power stuff that just, like, makes me upset, you know? So I hope it doesn't go that way or that route, you know? Someone asked, when starting Angel, would you have ever thought that the big bad would have been a law firm? How do you think it worked, and what do you think they will do next? So honestly, the thought of it being a law firm as the villain made me laugh. It was just so, like, really, okay, epic court battle, let's get it, you know? But it works so well because Angel, that's what it's trying to do, you know? It's trying to go against people that have power in LA that, you know, is just the big man that, you know, okay, garbage truck. But it's, you know, it's the big man that, like, has all this power and is able to do anything that they want. And, like, that's what Angel fights against. It just works. It works really good. And I like how it's not, like, a faceless organization. And, like, we are given faces like Lindsay, Manners, all these people. And it just works so good. Oh my god. Especially with, the blind date episode where, like, we get Lindsay and then Lindsay goes back to being evil. It's so good. Oh, God. Ooh, thoughts on the editing style of Angel? It's definitely different. And I feel like I mentioned this in the beginning of season 1 of Angel. But, like I've said with Buffy's kind of timeless. Like, I just feel like that show could have taken place, like, anytime. You know? Like, it's just so good. But with Angel, not to say it's not good. It's just, it shows the times that it was made. You know? Like, a lot of the editing choices and, like, how they choose to edit things, like, with scene changes and stuff like that, it's just very telling that this isn't a modern show, like, for today, you know? Obviously, this was 20 years ago, so it was, like, it shows. Again, not to say that that's bad, it's just, I do feel like it would have been a better choice not to, like, go into, like, whatever was, like, you know, popular at that time, you know? Because I feel like that's another thing that makes certain movies and TV shows so good overall. Like, with, like, certain movies that I've seen, like, it's just so, like, they don't do the thing that's popular at the time, you know? Like, for example, weird example, but, you know, Final Destination movies. I love those movies, but there's a movie in the Final Destination franchise that was made as the whole 3D thing was, like, a huge thing in theaters, and, like, every studio wanted to have a 3D movie for Halloween, and it's tacky looking now, you know? Like, at the time, maybe it looked really cool, but now with 3D not even being a thing anymore, I don't think movies are even made in 3D anymore. It was just like a spectacle, and, like, it was just like, okay, now it looks really bad. Now it looks tacky. Now it looks like all those shots were just made to be 3D, you know? Not to say it's, like, at that level, but, like, there are certain things in the show where I'm like, okay, sure. But I don't think I ever really, like, judged the show for that. I think I always, like, obviously I laugh at it every once in a while, but I do understand that that's just, you know, the times, you know? Oh, and someone asked, how well do you think David handled leading his own show? I think David is, like, thriving in his own show. I think it just gives him so much more to work with rather than being, you know, this, like, sulking guy in, like, the background of Buffy, you know? And obviously he's still a sulking little bitch over in Angel in his own show, but I think it just adds a lot more nuance to his character. And I do think at the beginning it was a little difficult. I just feel like his, like, not stage presence. What's the equivalent for TV shows? I don't know. But do you guys understand, like, how he is able to hold himself, like, in the show, like, by himself? I do think at the beginning it was, like, just a little weird, especially because, like, obviously I've known him as a side character, and then you throw in Cordelia, which was, like, another side character on Buffy, and just all of it together, it was just strange to see by themselves. But by the end of the season, it works so good. And the relationship between Cordelia and Angel, I just think works so well. I don't know if it's the chemistry between Charisma and David, but they are so good. I love their, like, on-screen chemistry, and, like, how they, even, like, Wesley's actor, like, it's so good. But yeah, even, like, at the finale, like, this, like, his, it's just, all I can see is, like, improvement, you know? It's not really, like, if there is, like, a slight problem that I ever see, like, in the beginning of the show, it's always, like, an improvement when I continue watching the show, which I do really like. Like, I like how the show is able to develop itself more, and it's so good at the end of the season. I literally cannot get over how good the end of the season was. Like, holy shit. Okay, and then Wesley, Angel, and Cordelia have changed since the beginning of the season. Any particular views on how their character arcs might progress in season 2? So I was kind of thinking about this too. I'm not sure if the ensemble cast is going to change, you know? Like, they could easily add another character that, like, we haven't met yet, but, like, the trio that we have right now just works so good. But they could totally add someone. I feel like it could be, like, a cooler aspect to the show that's different. I'm not sure if they're going to do that, like, right away in season 2, or, like, if they're going to do it at all in season 2. Yeah, I'm just, like, super interested in that. And I feel like, I don't know, I just have a inkling that Angel and Darla, that whole thing, I feel like Darla is going to, like, spark something in Angel, and it's going to like be like this whole like internal battle with himself on like his past. And like obviously he has a lot of guilt about his past, like it's been like a thing on the show that he has guilt about his past, you know. But I feel like it's just gonna be like the culmination of like all of this stuff, and I'm so interested to see like how Darla affects Angel, just like her being there, you know. So I'm just super interested in that. And yeah, for Wesley and Cordelia, I love how I hope it continues, but like how she changed in the finale, like, you know, she changed a little bit because like she experienced so much pain of people that like she had the visions of. So I do like that. I hope that continues on. Wesley too, I just love Wesley's character, and like how he went from like this, you know, like the stuck-up guy from like the Watchers Council that's like super like, you know, all about the rules and everything, and then he turns into, you know, the what is it, the rogue demon hunter, and then he starts working with Angel Investigations, and it's just I love it so much. It's just so good how they framed it all, and then bringing in Wesley into the cast. It's just, oh my god, I miss Doyle so much. Please don't. Oh my god. I'm sorry I haven't mentioned Doyle a lot. It's just, the more I think about him, the more I want to cry. But yeah, even Doyle, just, he was so good for the beginning of the season, and I wish we had to see more of him. But just his character in the show was just so well done to like bring in Angel and explain his backstory a little bit, and then like set up the show and set up this and Angel Investigations, and like it was just very cool. Oh my god. Jay asked, now that the Angel Investigations went kablooey, what do you want from the main set in season 2? I didn't even think about that. The set's gone. Now I'm sad. I forgot about that. Now I'm upset. Oh man. Even like, oh, dude, I love that like a little underground thing that Angel was in, especially because like it was like a part of like the sewers and all that, you know, so like Angel could like travel during the day. Now I'm sad. Are they gonna find a new place? I guess so. I really do hope. I don't know if it was that set or how they were doing the lighting. I just did not like the lighting in this season. And like it was just like somehow too bright, but also somehow really dark in some places for like the shadows. I don't know how they did it, but they did. I don't know why. I didn't really like the lighting at all in the office space. Not to say that the office space wasn't bad, just the lighting and the way that they framed it, I don't know why it like irked me. But yeah, I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but I don't know what it was. It was just like weird. But yeah, I do wonder if they're gonna find like a new office space or something, or like how they're gonna do that. Maybe they'll just do it out of Cordelia's apartment for a little bit. That'd be funny. So that's why they're at Cordelia's place afterwards. Oh. Is Angel gonna have a little sleepover at Cordelia's place because he doesn't have a place to stay? Please, that'd be so cute. Okay, and now for questions about the characters. Someone asked, so Wesley or Doyle? Happy with Wesley, or would you rather Doyle be given more time in season 1 of Angel? I definitely would have liked to see Doyle for at least a couple more episodes. I was talking to my boyfriend about this, because Doyle was introduced, and then like I just wasn't really into the character immediately, you know? And it just took me some time to like get used to him. And again, when I like, if you look up Angel season 1 promo, it's all Angel, Cordelia, and Doyle. I thought Doyle was in the show like for at least a couple seasons. So in my mind, while I was watching, I thought that I was gonna get some more time with him. I was gonna like him, like, you know, gradually a lot more, like over time. I wasn't expecting his last episode to be, what, episode 9? I wasn't expecting that. So as soon as episode 9 rolls around and then he dies, I'm like, oh, okay, so he's gonna be coming back, and then, you know, he's gonna get a little bit more time. And then I'm like, oh, he's not coming back. okay, sure. I don't know. It was just one of those things where, like, part of me wishes that I knew so that I could, like, enjoy the episodes that he was in a little bit more in the beginning of the season, especially because, like, Angel itself, the show, I was, like, a little iffy on. I was like, I don't know about this one, fam, you know? So, but then, you know, obviously I like the show a lot more later on in the season. So it just kind of sucked that, like, you know, Doyle was kind of caught up in, like, this time where, like, I was still trying to figure out if I liked the show and, like, all that, like, trying to figure out what the show was. But, so yeah, I do wish Doyle had a little bit more time, but I do understand, like, their circumstances outside of, the show. But with replacements as they go, I think Wesley is the perfect character to join the cast. Like, it's just perfect. Like, I was not sure how I was gonna think about it, like, when he first joined. I'm like, okay, I guess, sure. And then it just fit. I don't know, like, I don't know how these characters fit together, but they do. And they're so good. Oh, Patrick M. Dunn asks, Angel, Cordy, and Wes have grown so much from their Buffy the Vampire Slayer characters. Through season 1 of Angel, do these characters feel more at home to you here or back on the Buffy the Vampire Slayer? I don't know, like, again, I don't know how it works so well, but they do work so well on Angel. And it's giving each of the characters more time to, like, be more of a well-rounded character and, like, more developed, you know? So, like, yes, I loved Cordy on Buffy, but it's giving her the space and the time to, like, grow as a person and, like, into an adult, you know? And they just work so well. Even, like, Wesley and, like, just Angel. It's so good. And yeah, it's honestly funny that I, like, think I'm like, Cordy was in 3 seasons of Buffy. And now she's on Angel, and I feel like she belongs on Angel more. Which is weird to think about, but, like, she just does. She's just so cute in the show. Someone asked, Angel and Kate sitting in tree? Kissing. Yes. I hate to admit it, but I still really like them. Anyways, not to call myself out, but I really do like them so much, and I just have a feeling Kate is gonna be, like, not in the show anymore, because, like, just her character, like, hasn't really been, like, a lot, you know? I do hope we get to see her every once in a while, because I love her. But my hopes aren't high. Someone asked, favorite Wolferman Hart lawyer? Lila, Lindsay, or Lee? Definitely Lindsay. Holy shit. Lindsay is such a cool character, and like I've already mentioned in the episode Blind Date when I did that review, just, it's so interesting to see his backstory and, like, how he, like, dude, it's so good. I really like how they added in Lindsay as, like, a character and, like, what they did with his character, you know? And now we're kind of talking about both Angel and Buffy. So yeah, someone asked, what changes have you noticed in the cinematography, lighting, editing style in this season compared to previous seasons, and are those good or bad changes? So, like I've said, the production value is so much better, and, like, the effects, like, the monster effects are so good. Like, the episode, what was it, A New Man? Or something like that, where, like, Giles, like, turned into a demon. The effects on his face, they are so good. The makeup and everything has been superb in this season. Like, also, Angel, like, some of the monsters are fucking insane. Okay, actually, I have to take back a tiny bit. Adam, I'm sorry, the character design and the way that they did him, I think I said this before, but, like, it literally doesn't even look like a thing that has, like, a bunch of demons, like, sewn together. It literally looks like a person with, like, face paint on, you know? Like, and, like, a little thingy over his face. Which is so disappointing because, like, I wanted him to look so cool. but like it just like doesn't look that great, you know? Which I understand they have to create a character design where someone is able to walk around, say their lines, and it also has to be an easy application because this dude's gonna be in a couple episodes. You can't just, you know, do 12 hours of makeup on him, you know? Like, I understand from that aspect, just the character design. I wish it was a little cooler, and like the execution of it was a little cooler. Yeah, and I think I've said this before, the lighting, I don't know why, but the lighting is so much brighter in this season, even like Angel. I don't know why. Like I think I've said this like when like even with like my thumbnails and stuff, like from season 1 of Buffy, I've had to like desaturate like all of my thumbnails, like the screen caps, so that they match like a little bit better to like my original like thumbnails from like my videos, because like it's so much more like saturated and brighter in some ways. And then in other scenes it's like super dark. So like I don't know. And I don't know what it was about the college set. It was way too bright. I don't know why. It wasn't even like that much different than like the high school set, but I think it was just like the type of lighting that they use. It was like harsh light. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but like, yeah. Okay, Mark asked, do you prefer a season finale that wraps up a story arc as with Buffy, or a season finale that leaves you hanging with an unexpected development as with Angel? So I do kind of like both. I do like with Buffy, it kind of just ends, and it just tells you a story from episode 1 to the last episode. It's a story, and it's a really nice one. And like most of them are very cohesive. Like even season 2, like from the beginning to the end, it like tells a good story for that year, you know? And I think with Angel, they're gonna try and be a little more like, I think it also comes from the point where like Buffy starts after a summer. I don't know if Angel's gonna do that. Is Angel gonna do that? I'm not sure. I could see them like just going like right from like where they left off, basically like a couple days later, but I also don't really know. But my point was like maybe Angel's like a little more like the timeline is just like it keeps going, you know, and there's no big jumps in time, and it just keeps going, you know, like, you know, it ends, but then like there's, you know, a villain that they still need to prepare for the next season, you know, and then it keeps going. But yeah, I do like both kinds of endings, and I think they both work really good for each of their shows. Someone asked, how is it watching 2 shows in the same universe at once, like the pacing, crossovers, etc.? I personally think that I wasn't really sure about the guide thing that I followed, but I do think it works really good, just because, yes, I'm going to forget things, but you guys, I'm going to forget things regardless, okay? But the way that they're like set up, or like I get to watch 2 episodes back to back to like kind of like the mini arc that I get to finish out, like it just gives me more momentum to keep watching. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back into Buffy, okay, and then once I start Angel again, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go into the next Angel episodes. I think it would be too jarring for me to like go back and forth. I understand that's how people watched it, but I like how it's set up for me at the moment with the guide and everything. And I think the pacing is really good. The only time that I feel like the pacing was like a little weird was like when I had like 3 Buffy episodes and then 3 Angel episodes, and I had to like kind of jump back and forth, but like it made sense for me to like watch 3 episodes of Buffy all at once, you know? So it wasn't like, it's like the lesser of 2 evils, basically, you know? It's gonna be hard either way for me to like keep track of both shows, but I do like the way that the guide is set up. So Neil asks, oftentimes when you don't like an episode, during the actual reaction you seem to really be enjoying yourself. What episodes have you not liked that much and then realized that you liked it more than you thought when watching back your reaction? Honestly, most of the time, I always end up liking an episode more after I've edited my reaction. Just because I forget things, and then like as something that I was confused on, I like rewatch it a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay, now it makes sense. So I always end up liking it more if I like give it like another watch or so. But it's funny that you say like because like that's the thing, like a lot of episodes that I like enjoy watching, but then like I try and think of it and I'm like, well, you know, because I do try to enjoy myself while I'm watching, you know, I'm not gonna try and have a bad time, you know. But I do hate when that happens, when I'm like having a good time and then like at the end I'm like, well, that episode, you know, like even like the episode with what is it? What was it? I Fall Apart or something? The one with like the doctor that like, yeah. Like it was like a fun episode to like watch, but obviously I'm gonna be like, that was a little weird. So yeah, it's also like, yes, it's fun to watch sometimes, but I'm like, realistically, from a analytical perspective, that was a little strange. but yeah, for your question, I almost always like episodes more after I've given it some time, you know? Because I don't know why I'm so critical right after I watch an episode. It's something I need to work on, but like I'm always so critical right after I watch something. And I do not like how I'm like that, but of course, I always add in things later on if I'm like super critical and like, you know, while I'm editing, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna add it in right here. So I'm not like super annoying about it, you know? And Alex and Freya asked, do you want to see more Angel Buffy crossovers or would you prefer the shows to stand on their own more? If they did the crossovers like they did with the Faith thing, I think I will really like them. But even like the I Will Remember You, like, yes, I love that episode, and it was like very well done. But I think if we have a lot of episodes like that, I don't think I'm going to really like it that much, just because like I feel like the shows are so different, and I feel like to do them justice, they do have to just like be their own thing. But like, let's say there's like a huge demon or something, you know, and they need help, and they decide to call up Buffy, or like they call up Angel, be like, hey, can you just like help us with this, or like, hey, do you have any information? That's what I love. I love how in like the finale of Angel, when Cordelia is like trying to figure out like the whole computer thing, like with the encryption thing, she calls up Willow. It's like a simple little like, it's in the universe, so she's able to call up Willow and it just fits, you know? Like those tiny little crossovers I fucking love. What was it? Like after Faith like attacked Angel, I forget when it said, but like it said like Wesley called up Giles or something to like talk to him about it, and like they got information about like Faith and everything. And it's just so good, so good. I like those types of little crossovers, but like a full-on crossover, I feel like maybe 1 or 2 a season would be nice. But I don't want, I originally wanted them to be a little bit more like connected, but now I just feel like they are just so like different that I think having them be 2 different shows is the best option. Ooh, interesting. Hedvig asked if you could write the first episode of both Buffy season 5 and Angel season 2, what would you like them to entail? Super interesting. I think for Buffy, mainly because we don't really have a huge antagonist yet, I think it'd be really interesting to kind of like set up where everyone is right now, kind of like a freshman situation where I don't know what's gonna happen with Buffy and like the living situation, because obviously Willow and Tara are going to be together, okay? But maybe like Anya and Xander get like their own apartment or something, and Giles, I forget her name, I'm so sorry, but his like the woman that like he talks to a lot, like maybe she moves in, and maybe Buffy like just is in a dorm again, and like she has like a roommate or something, and like it's another character that's like pretty cool to have. Or maybe she even like moves in with Riley, I'm not sure. But yeah, I think it'd be really interesting to like pick up after the summer, see where everyone's going. Maybe Xander has like a new job or something like that, or like this would be cool. So they start up their sophomore year of college and they're all having fun, and then Xander gets a new job at like this really nice company, and then he calls up the gang. He's like, hey guys, I got a really cool job. And then they go to the bronze or something, and like they just celebrate, and like all of the gang is just there having fun or something like that. And then something happens, you know, something like some random ass monster like pops out of nowhere. And then like the gang just is able to like fight them together or something, like just something small to like bring the gang back together again. And like maybe like they had like the entire summer and like they like didn't really talk to each other a lot, but like then they get to see each other, and then, you know, they see a demon like out in the back alley or something, and then they're able to like fight him or something like that. And then it like leaves off, and like there's like some sort of like, I don't know, just like something to lead in with like the rest of like some big baddie for like the season. Obviously I don't know what that's gonna be, but like that could be pretty cool. And if they do start with the first Slayer thing, it'd be pretty cool if like all of them had a vision that the first Slayer was like walking outside the restaurant that they were at or something, you know? And all of them are like, they all like make that face or like, did you guys see that? And then they all choose to ignore it for a second. They're like, okay. And then what if they've all been seeing the first Slayer like in little visions every once in a while, but they hadn't said anything to each other? And then they're like, have you guys been having that vision of the first Slayer like just walking around like outside like just whenever? And like, have you been having it in your dreams too? And then they're all like, yeah. I'm just saying, that'd be pretty cool. And then for Angel, I think it'd be pretty cool if it starts up like a month later, and Angel is like sleeping on Cordelia's couch, and it'd be really funny like if Wesley like something happened, he wasn't able to like pay rent or something wherever he was, and like he was like on the armchair or something also sleeping, or like he had like a little sleeping bag in like the living room and like he was sleeping too. And then it just like goes over and like Cordelia's like making them like breakfast or something, and she has like all these newspapers laid out for like where they should like get a new office or something. Like she's like, okay guys, we gotta look at these places to get a new office. And that'd be so cool. And like just like the first episode is like them trying to find a new office, and then like, ooh, what if there's like this really big like murderer dude, and like he's on trial, and then so like they're looking at the office things like in the newspaper, and then like on the TV in the background like the news pops up and it's like, Wolfram and Hart have a new case, da da da. And then it's just like one of those things. And like, what if Wolfram and Hart like recently have been having a lot of big cases? That'd be pretty cool. And like Angel's like, what is that, like the fourth one this month? And like it's just like one of those things where it's like, oh, Wolfram and Hart is like picking up speed, you know, like they're getting everyone out. And then what if like Wolfram and Hart are taking like cold cases or something, or like something like that, and like they're getting like demons that are in jail like out of jail, and it's just like something where it's like we need to get like a space where we can like start working on this, you know? And that would be really cool. I'm not sure how it would go on from there, but like then it would like switch to Wolfram and Hart, and like Lindsay would be like talking to Darla, and like it'd be like this like big room with like just like two chairs and like a bed or something, and like like a little like cup of blood or something for Darla, and like Lindsay's like outside like looking in, and like it's like this lady that's like going in being like, okay, do you know what your mission is? And then Darla's just like silent, like she's not talking, she doesn't want to talk. And then so like throughout the entire episode there's like little scenes where like it's this lady like trying to talk to Darla, trying to like tell her that she needs to kill Angel, she needs to get with Angel, and she needs to like find him and kill him, you know, because she's like the only person that can get to him. And she keeps like being like, do you know Angel? And then she's like, that'd be so cool. Wait, so they keep calling him Angel, and they keep showing her pictures of him and like Cordelia and Wesley and all this, and like be like, these are his friends, da da da, you have to get him. And so like they keep flashing back like two two scenes throughout the episode, like they show her, like, but Darla's not speaking a word, and then at the end of the episode, they're like talking, and then Lindsay comes in and he's like, have you made any progress with this? She's like, no, not yet. I hope Angel, isn't doing something. And then Darla, it just like has a shot of her, and she's like, it's Angelus, and then it cuts. I'm just saying, something cool like that, That'd be so fucking cool. Obviously, I am not a writer in the slightest, but that would be pretty cool in my opinion. Yeah, again, I'm not a writer in the slightest, but I feel like that kind of beginning would be super cool, Yeah, even for like Buffy, that would be so cool! Oh, I love it. I love it. Also, just like the fact that I want the Scooby Gang to like be a gang again. Please, please, please. I love them so much. I just want them to like be together. So I would love the first episode to have like all of them be together, Hey, Tia asked, what was your favorite character for season 1 of Angel and season 4 of Buffy? For Buffy, I would say Tara. Just saying. I love Tara so much. Tara and Willow. Either one. They were so cute. Even, probably Willow, because I just love her progression throughout the season. She's so cute. I love her. And for season 1 of Angel, I would say Cordelia. Mainly because I just love how she's changed. And like, I love how she gets the gift for like the visions and everything. And she's just so... It's so good. Please, the next question I have is from Calvin. He's like, who are your favorite characters from the season and why are they Cordelia and Tara? I'm so transparent. Ooh, if it were up to me, which guest stars, if any, would you add to the main cast next season in either show? That's from Jeff. So I think I've already said this for Buffy, which is like mainly like Tara and Anya. I would love to have them on, like full time. But for Angel, I would love if Lindsay was a main character, just because like it would add in like he's on the other side, and every episode we got like one scene or two scenes from like Wolfram Hart. I mean, that'd be pretty cool, and like during the credits it's like a little more like mysterious. That would be pretty cool, I'm just saying. But also I would love to see Gunn. I mean, even if he isn't main cast, I would love to just see him in every couple episodes, just see like a scene with him. Please, I love Gunn so much. Okay, and then I got a couple questions from like Alfie and Brendan about Faith. So I cannot believe I did not mention Faith at all in this fucking 3-hour video so far. Goodness. I really enjoy the way that they went about Faith. Like she comes back. She gets a little video from the mayor to like kind of give her back to like that kind of mentality of like, you need to kill Buffy. Like she's the source of all your problems, And just the way that Faith went about it, and like it's so personal to her and how she like went against Buffy, and like she just tried to like ruin Buffy's life with like so much of that. And then I love at the end how Faith turns around and she's like, I don't have to be evil. I can actually just not act like this anymore. I could like try and, do good. And then she leaves Sunnydale, she goes to LA, and then she's just trying to like, I do kind of hate how like she gets to that conclusion in Buffy, and then by the time she gets to Angel, it's like she's kind of back to where she was originally, and like she's just killing people and like taking their house and taking their money, Yeah, and even like how she treated Wesley, and like, yes, Wesley like could have done better as like her watcher, but like Faith, literally everyone was trying to help you, and like you literally didn't want any help. So what did you want him to do? Like I understand you were like a kid. The way that she was like acting with like Wesley too, I was like, bruh. But the end scene of 5x5, bruh, it's so good with like Angel like because like Angel obviously understands like the kind of guilt that she has with like how she's been treating people, and I just love how they connected Faith and Angel, and it's just so good. And my brain is not like making words make sense right now. But I feel like I do go pretty in depth in like my reviews in those videos. I just enjoy how they brought her back, and then but yeah, now she's in jail. I don't know how that's gonna go, because obviously once Faith dies, there's gonna be a new Slayer. But like, I thought that was gonna be like a cool thing for like the next season or the season after. Like Faith dies in like her coma, and then a new Slayer comes, and you know Buffy gets to help her out. You know, but yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with Faith, if they're even gonna be able to like redeem her, or if she's just gonna stay in jail. I don't know what's gonna happen with that, to be honest. Wait, which surprises you more? James, who plays Spike, being an American, or Alexis, who plays Wesley, being an American? I knew James was an American because when he did that one like bit where like he tried to like have an American accent, someone commented and it was like, James an American pretending to be British doing an American accent. Like it was like this whole like kind of Inception kind of thing. But I didn't know Alexis was American. They do really good accents. Maybe I'm like terrible at like seeing a fake accent, but like fuck it up. Damn. Like they really sell that. Goodness. Okay, so someone asked, what are your guilty pleasure episodes for season 4? Gary asked that. And then a couple questions later, someone asked, worst episode, hint, it's the horny ghost one. Listen! Where the Wild Things Are is a good episode, okay? I don't care about the horny ghosts. It's good because of Anya. End of story. I'm gonna fight anyone that has anything bad to say against it, okay? I understand the horny ghost. I understand. But Anya is the shining beacon in that episode. Let's just face it, okay? God. Oh, Sam asked, do you think Angel had a more engaging or well-written season 1 in comparison to Buffy season 1? I'm not sure. So, Buffy definitely has the advantage of being only 12 episodes, so they definitely get to, like, dip their toes in a little bit and see how it goes, you know, before season 2 opens and they have 22 episodes to fully develop, you know? So I think they do have the advantage in that, where, like, they get to introduce the characters, introduce the dynamics and everything, get to defeat the Master, which is, like, you know, pretty basic, monster, you know, villain. And Angel, I feel definitely it's a detriment to them that they have 22 episodes to fill, because I do feel like a lot of the episodes are just, like, not needed. And it's just, like, okay, I don't know if we needed an episode about a demon from another fucking universe coming to our planet, and, like, it's also a metaphor for, like, it was very strange. I didn't really like it. So there are episodes like that where I'm like, there's a lot of episodes like that in the season, even like Expecting, where I'm like, okie dokie, okay, alrighty then. But in all, for season 1 of each show, I do think Buffy has the advantage with it. I mean, with Angel, even with the detriment of like having more episodes, I do think they did really well. Yeah, I just think Buffy season 1 was done a little bit better. And I don't know why. I just like the monster episodes in season 1, I think, a lot more. I think so, yeah. I mean, I really liked the episodes in season 1 for like some of the monsters and stuff. Even if it was just campy and goofy, it had like that kind of charm to it, you know? Eric asked, metaphorically speaking, how did your first year of college compare to Buffy's first year? I think Buffy had a little bit more of a hard time than me. And then someone asked, have you watched Domi's I Will Remember You reaction? Domi has told me many times not to watch any of her videos just because she mentions spoilers for like Angel later on a lot, and just like offhandedly she'll mention it. So she's asked me not to watch any of them, but trust me, I want to watch them so bad. And we have a video that we're going to be making soon in like the next week or so. And trust me, we are going to talk at length about that episode. Oh, someone asked for some appearances from Gracie. Let me go get her. BRB. Hi. Here's Gracie. She just got groomed, so she's all nice and clean. Hi, cutie. Hi. She's a Bichon Shih Tzu. She's very cute. Oh, love you so much. She's our little guard dog. She barks at my boyfriend whenever he comes over. Someone asked, loving the reaction, but when is the hair routine dropping? Here, let me go get my shampoo and conditioner and then what I put in after my shower. Give me a sec. Okay, so for shampoo and conditioner, I use this. It's Olaplex. For both shampoo and conditioner, I use this. And then after the shower, I shower at night. I wash my hair. And then I towel dry it for like 20 minutes. Then I put this in, which is Foxy Bay leave-in cream conditioner. I put it in, brush it through my hair, and then I braid my hair, which I know you're not really supposed to do when your hair is wet, but sue me. You know, I've been doing it for years now. So I braid my hair, I sleep, and then in the morning, I take my braid out, and this is what I get. Okay, and then I have a couple questions on, like, things that I could watch in the future. Jaren asks, have you ever seen The Magicians, and would you ever react to it? I have seen The Magicians. I've seen, like, 2 seasons of it. And to be frank with you, I don't remember, like, any of it. Like, I binged it in, like, 2 days, I think, and none of it processed in my brain. So, it was a cool show, but I don't think I will ever react to it. Dave asked, have you ever watched a show called Fringe? I would love to see a reaction to that because not a lot of other reactors have done it yet. I have not seen Fringe. J.J. Abrams created this. Okay. It looks pretty cool. I'll definitely, like, keep it in the back of my mind if I ever, like, want to, like, try out something new. But, and then someone asked, are you planning to do Firefly when you're done with Buffy and Angel? Yes, I feel like that's, like, the #1 thing that I always get asked, and I feel like Firefly is definitely going to be after I'm done with Buffy and Angel, I'm going to do that. Just because, isn't it, like, 1 season or something? I'm definitely going to, like, just try and, like, you know, have a fun time with Firefly and, like, see how that goes. Because I've heard so many things about it, and I forget the main character. Isn't he, like, from Doctor Who or something? Yeah, Nathan Fillion, right? No, he's on Castle. What? John Scott Barrowman, right? I don't know why I always mix those 2 guys up. Nathan Fillion and John Barrowman. Why do I mix those guys up all of the time? It's honestly a problem. But, and then the last question, beer bad drunk rewatch with Domi when? I think we both have agreed that we're going to rewatch episodes from, like, seasons that, like, have been a while for both of us to, like, watch. But I think we're gonna wait, like, a while until we, like, start doing season 4 rewatches, you know? Just so it's, like, you know, not as fresh in our mind, and then we'll get to, like, watch it. So, goodness, I've been recording for 3.5 hours. My throat hurts, to be honest. So, yeah, I do think that is all I have to say about Buffy Season 4 and Angel Season 1. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sure it's going to be a very long one. So if you guys watched this entire thing, thank you very much. I do hope that you enjoyed it and got a little something out of it. Hopefully it wasn't just the same things that you guys already knew, or, you know, at least it wasn't entertaining or something, you know? That's what I'm trying to do here. But yeah, I do hope you guys really enjoyed. And yeah, with that, thank you to all my beautiful patrons over on Patreon. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!